Now let's take a closer look at the ring. Allah gave Prophet Suleiman this ring, also called the Seal of Suleiman. According to belief, it carried a secret of one of the hidden names of Allah, a name known only to very few people and angels. With this secret knowledge on the ring, and by Allah's permission, Prophet Suleiman was given great power. With it, he became one of the greatest rulers ever, ruling over the jinn, the animals, and the winds. When he wanted to command them, he would put on the ring and give his orders with it. The Seal of Suleiman, this ring, is known among Muslims as Hatim Suleiman, while Christians call it the Star of David. Since Prophet Suleiman was from the children of Israel, the Jews later placed the Star of David symbol from the ring onto the flag of Israel. Today, this has caused some confusion among Muslims. Many people think of the star as belonging to Israel or even to the Masons. But historically, the use of this symbol by Israel is actually quite recent. During the Ottoman period, this symbol was often used in markets, on plates, on swords, in mosque decorations, and even on gravestones. Even today, it is still possible to see this six-pointed star in many places. In fact, this star symbol comes from Prophet Dawood, and Dawood, like all the other prophets, is also sacred to us Muslims. Today, many people wear a ring designed after the ring of Prophet Suleiman as jewelry. It is said that wearing it in this way is allowed, but it is important to note that it does not bring any benefit to the one who wears it. Some people believe that by wearing this ring, they can keep jinn away from themselves, but unfortunately, this belief has no truth. The story of the power ring of Prophet Suleiman and its similarities with the events in the Lord of the Rings movies is also striking. The idea of a power ring that gives its owner supernatural abilities is present there too, and it is clear that it was inspired by the life of Prophet Suleiman. Now let us go back to the time of Prophet Suleiman, to his army of jinn, and see where else he used them. Thousands of years ago, the beings of the jinn world crossed into our dimension and attacked humans. By entering into people, the jinn caused great chaos at that time. One of the most extraordinary events in human history took place during the time of Prophet Suleiman, but the events he witnessed in his lifetime were not limited to this. The year was 970 before Christ. About 3,000 years ago in Gaza, a baby was born. No one knew yet that this child would one day rule his nation at a young age and become one of the 4 greatest rulers the world has ever seen. But the most important thing was neither his kingship nor the wealth he would inherit at a young age. Above all, he would be a prophet chosen by Allah. The death of his father, Prophet Dawood, was near. Before passing away, Dawood sat his son Suleiman in front of him and gave him important advice. Do not expect anything from people, for this is the essence of true wealth. Do not desire the blessings that Allah has given to others and not to you, for this is the sign of poverty. Make sure that the day you are in is better than the day before. Stay away from actions and words that will make you apologize later, and when you are angry, leave the place you are in. A very short time later, Prophet Dawood, in the middle of his house, came face to face with the angel of death, Azrael. His rule had lasted for 40 years. He had conquered Jerusalem and made it the capital of his kingdom. He gave the children of Israel their most glorious period. Now it was the turn of his son, Prophet Suleiman. Like all other prophets, he too would rule his people with justice. It was now the beginning of an extraordinary time for Prophet Suleiman, the prophet known in history as the one who showed the most miracles. From this point on, incredible and mysterious events would take place. What you will hear until the end of this video will amaze you, so don't go anywhere. Allah had given a very important ring from paradise to Prophet Dawood. Before his death, Dawood entrusted it to his son, Suleiman. This was the same ring that had first been gifted to Prophet Adam when he was in paradise. On the ring was written, the Ismi Azam, the greatest name of Allah. It was a name that only the angels knew, a name unknown to people, and one that could open all doors and give great power to its bearer. This ring had been brought from paradise to earth by the angel Jibril with Allah's permission, and now it had passed on to Prophet Suleiman. With this ring, he would be able to bring the jinn, the animals, and the winds under his command, but the ring was only a tool. The real power came from Allah alone. For Allah, with just his word be, could create anything. In this story, by his wisdom, he made the ring a means of giving this power, and with it, the mission of Prophet Suleiman began. This ring carries an unbelievable story that has reached us today, filled with strange and fascinating events. Allah granted Suleiman not an ordinary kingdom, but the greatest miraculous rule in history. Suleiman took a deep breath, looked up at the sky, and prayed, "My Lord, forgive me. Grant me such a kingdom that no one after me will ever have," and Allah accepted his prayer. One morning, as Suleiman stood on the marble terrace of his palace, he noticed a strange movement in the air. Invisible beings circled around, whispering. Suddenly, gigantic fiery shapes appeared. These were the jinn, the strongest of the devils. But Suleiman was not afraid. He looked at the ring in his hand, the seal inscribed with Allah's Ismi Azam, and spoke with a commanding voice. "I will rule over you. Allah has given me authority over you." The mighty jinn, the fierce ifrits, the whispering devils, all of them fell to their knees at once. For the first and last time in history, the unseen world bowed before the seen world. As the Quran says, by his Lord's permission, we subjected the jinn to work for him. If any of them disobeyed our command, we made him taste the punishment of blazing fire. Sabah 12. Suleiman wanted to complete the construction of Masjid al-Aqsa, which his father had left unfinished. But how could human workers finish such a task that would take years? He turned to the jinn. "You will build this sanctuary." And an extraordinary scene began. Invisible hands placed stones in order. Fiery beings poured molten copper into molds. Flying jinn lifted massive marble blocks and set them in place. As they worked for Suleiman, they built palaces, statues, large basins like reservoirs, and heavy cauldrons fixed in place. Sabah 13. They worked day and night. Chained devils carried out his commands without rest. The children of Israel were astonished because these gigantic structures were rising, yet they heard no sound and saw no workers. Whispers spread among them. Suleiman must be a great sorcerer. And so, they too turned toward magic. But Suleiman came to know of this. Magic was a great sin, so he stopped them. He ordered all the books of sorcery to be collected and buried beneath his palace. Yet the children of Israel would not abandon these books. After his death, strange and troubling events would unfold, and in the final part, we will witness these mysterious events. The army of Suleiman was the strangest army in history. As the Quran says in Surah An-Naml, his armies of jinn, humans, and birds were gathered for him, and they were kept in order. The battlefield showed scenes unlike any other. The formation of this army was unique. At the front marched lions, eagles, and other wild beasts. Their terrifying appearance alone struck fear into the hearts of enemies. Behind them came thousands of mounted horsemen, the finest warriors of the children of Israel. But what was truly astonishing were the invisible jinn soldiers. These beings, created from fire, moved through the air, reaching anywhere instantly and leaving the enemy in total confusion. The sky itself became a network of scouts. Thousands of birds made up Suleiman's reconnaissance force. Eagles watched enemy movements from above. Hoopoes carried messages, and other birds brought news from every corner of the battlefield. To the enemies, it felt as if the very sky had turned against them. The sight was truly unmatched. Cavalry riding side by side with unseen Jinn warriors, flocks of birds flying reconnaissance above, lions roaring on the ground, and eagles soaring in the air. The enemy could not even understand what they were facing. Many surrendered before the battle even began, bowing down to Suleiman. With this magnificent army, Suleiman ruled the entire known world of his time, from east to west, from north to south. All kings paid tribute to him, but Suleiman's wealth did not only come from war spoils. He sent the jinn deep into the seas. Since they could live underwater, they brought back the most precious pearls from the depths of the oceans. Each pearl was worth what ordinary people would call a fortune. The jinn under his command also dug beneath the earth, the mountains and hidden places, bringing out gold and jewels. Sometimes they split open rocks to find the richest gold veins, melted the ore, and presented pure gold to Suleiman. Gold and silver became so abundant that according to the Torah, they lost their value and were considered as common as stones. In his palace, there were massive cauldrons of gold and basins as large as pools. Kings from other nations came with gifts, pretending to seek his wisdom, but in truth hoping to share in his wealth.